Breaking news on Martyn Lucas Investor. We are looking at FFIE, Faraday Future Intelligent Electric, and we're going to be discussing why it's down 50%. Is it all over? Is there no chance of a short squeeze anymore? What I'm doing with my shares, how the earnings call from last night had this effect on it, and what I'm going to be doing in the future. So let's have a quick look at the chart and show you exactly what's happened this morning. The price of the stock from last night's price came all the way down 55% and settled at a bottom of around 53 cents. Since that low of this morning, we are up 48%. So we have had a nice bounce. Which is good, but for 78 cents is not a good price for the stock. Remember, we have to close above $1 today and close above $1 tomorrow to comply with Nasdaq's rules and stay listed. We did bring this to your attention yesterday in the live stream. At the price we closed at yesterday, this red box here represented resistance. It was an area where I wasn't too comfortable buying the stock or even holding it, because we were closing, there was moving averages, there was this horizontal resistance, and unfortunately that resistance stayed true and we came all the way down 55%. The issue was the $1 level. We came back below the $1 level. Here, during the after hours trading, we breached the $1 and came all the way to 90 cents, and I'll show you me predicting this exactly in yesterday's live stream. So let's listen into this for 1 second. So that $1 level has been breached. All those limit orders have been filled. So we went all the way down to 90 cents, just below 90 cents. So that's the issue. If this earnings doesn't go well, if there's not good news, the price, once it hits $1 next time, it's going to have a much more dramatic fall to the downside. And the next sort of buying level for myself, we've already made money from this $1 level twice. One was last week on Friday, where we rode up to $2, and one was today, where I bought at around $1, and now it's. So yeah, that's the information there. I provided it on the live stream. The issue was if we fell below $1 again, which did seem likely, there was no limit orders. There wasn't those thousands of shares that everyone's been putting limit orders at $1 to hold the price up. And there was no more limit orders at $1. Those have all been bought up. A lot of people are running out of money to put into FFIE. And remember, please do not put in more than you can afford to lose. Now let's look at the earnings call and show you why it was such a bad earnings call for this company, and why it's brought on this bad sentiment. So even before the earnings had started, we had this information come out here. It was Faraday Future receives anticipated letter from Nasdaq regarding Form 10Q. Basically what has happened here is Faraday Future didn't comply with Nasdaq's rules of giving them their earnings, their Q1 report. They didn't give it in a timely manner. We didn't even hear their Q1 results in their earnings call. We don't have any releases, so they are behind that, and they haven't announced their earnings, which is very rare, and it's something companies rarely do, and that's only if they are becoming bankrupt or having serious problems internally. And then we got their presentation. We looked through the earnings, and I have actually asked ChatGPT to give me a summary of what's going on. So firstly, I have asked it, what does this mean for the stock, and what was the reason the stock dropped 50% this morning? This was, I submitted the picture of the filing from Nasdaq, sentencing them to basically a court hearing where they have to go and explain themselves. So the ChatGPT said the announcement from Faraday Future regarding this anticipated letter from Nasdaq about the delayed Form 10Q filing is likely a significant factor contributing to the 50% drop in the stock price. This delay raises concerns about potential delisting, which can severely impact investor confidence and market stability. Remember, we were trying to keep the price, or investors wanted the price to stay above $1 for 10 consecutive days, so that they can find an extension to stay on the Nasdaq exchange. If we were going to stay above a dollar on Thursday and Wednesday, so today and tomorrow, by Friday, that would mean that they've got an extension and they can still be trading. So not only do they have that issue now of not being above a dollar, we'll have to see how the day closes. They've got that issue, and now they've got potential delisting because they didn't file their 10Q. As for a potential short squeeze, the negative sentiment from this news might reduce the likelihood of a squeeze occurring. The stock's significant drop suggests a loss of bullish momentum, making it challenging for short squeeze to gain traction. Investors should proceed with caution given highlighted volatility and regulatory risks. So it is saying that the bullish momentum that was there above $1, everyone was saying that we're holding strong. It hasn't gone below $1. That sentiment is gone. This earnings sentiment is bad. The news was bad, and there's more bad news about the earnings, which I'll get onto shortly. I then submitted the PowerPoint presentation, and I said, "Is it what the key takeaways? Is this good for the stock, or is it smoke and mirrors?" So let me show you what our initial thoughts were from listening to the earnings call last night live. I'll show you exactly our reaction live from last night.
Okay, so we're going to talk about that now. That's the first earnings call ever with no questions from the investors, institutions, or anything. That was all smoke and mirrors as far as I'm concerned. I paid a lot of attention. I've covered a lot of these earnings. And Sensei, what's your thoughts on that? We've covered a lot of these earnings. When have you ever heard an earnings where there's no questions from investors? You can't call in and ask any questions. None. Zero. And then they had the gall to say that thanks to our investors standing by us, the stock was at 4 cents before a meme craze. I don't know what planet they're on. The numbers they were quoting, I know to some people, well, that sounds good. That sounds good. That was a performance. And I have never heard anything so ridiculous in my life. I'll be interested to see what happens tomorrow. Sensei, from your point of view, what do you think of that?
Yeah, it was an interesting one at the end, just going bye-bye and not allowing any questions. They've obviously got severe problems. They didn't file we didn't hear about their numbers of this quarter. They didn't have them, and they pretended everything was, as you said, was amazing.
Yeah,
as a company, it's not good. So yeah, that was our initial reaction, which wasn't good. It wasn't a good reaction from us because first, another issue with the earnings was the fact that they didn't even answer any questions. They didn't answer any of the investors' questions, none of the analysts' questions, none of the banks' questions. And the reason they did that, as I went on and asked ChatGPT, I said, they didn't answer any analyst questions at the end. What does this mean for the stock? And this is what it means. There's a lack of transparency. Avoiding questions might signal that the company has negative information or uncertainties it doesn't want to disclose, which can erode trust. The next issue, management confidence. It indicates that management is not confident in their answers or the company's current financial position, raising red flags about future prospects. Number 3, increased uncertainty. Investors and analysts rely on Q&A session to clarify doubts and gain deeper insights. Skipping this part can increase uncertainty and speculation, often leading to a negative sentiment. Potential impact on the stock. Short term, the stock may experience increased volatility and further decline as investors react to the perceived lack of transparency and potential issues with the company. And long-term persistence avoidance for analyst questions can damage the company's credibility. We don't even know if there's going to be a next earnings call. The company might go bankrupt. And back to the question of what was actually going on in that earnings call. They were bringing out some good news, it was mostly smoke and mirrors, but they were saying the things that retail investors want to hear. The partnerships, the new car, the price of the car, don't forget, it's $309,000. It's a very small amount of the population that will be able to afford this ultra luxury AI-driven vehicle. The financial performance, they said, the company reported a net loss of $431 million. That is really not good, and that's for 2023. Cash and restricted cash significantly decreased to 4 million from 18 million. So it's indicating tight liquidity. So yeah, let's see. Maybe there's some positive aspects. The positive aspect, the technological advancements and strategic partnerships, particularly in the luxury EV market, might attract investors looking for high growth stocks. Again, they announced their partnership with the Middle East, which I guess is good news. But they must be hiding something not to be able to answer the investors' questions, not being able to file things correctly at the correct time. So I am less bullish on this stock. Remember, I'm only in it for a gamble. I don't care if I lose the money that I've put in. So for me, it doesn't matter, and it shouldn't matter for you. If you're putting in money that you can't afford to lose, it is not wise. I then asked it about the short squeeze. Is the chance for a short squeeze still high at 60 cents, which it was at a few moments ago? Now it's at 80 cents, so it is recovering. Potential for short squeeze. A short squeeze occurs when a heavily shorted stock price rises sharply, forcing short sellers to cover their position, which drives the price up further. We all know that, but just to break it down, if there isn't good news, why would the price rise? We were hoping for some really good news so that the investors would get back in and more people would have confidence buying it, but instead it went the opposite direction, so that definitely decreases the chances. The current sentiment, the recent significant drop in stock price and the company's financial troubles likely means that there is a high short interest, so people will be shorting more. So can it be a bigger short squeeze? Everything's gone badly. Are those hedge funds going to short it more? Does that mean there can potentially be a bigger short squeeze? We'll have a think about that. So I'm not going to go into all the details here. It's high risk, high reward at the end of the day. The risk is high, the reward can be high, but the risk is very, very high. Let me see if there's anything else I'd like to cover. Remember, the stock is now trading at 80 cents. If you do like this video, please do hit the like button. I'd greatly appreciate if you can hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave me your questions down below, and if there's anything I can do to help, leave them in the comments and I'll be answering all your questions. But until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.